Welcome to this week's Tuesdays with Tim, the leader and founder of TM Jazz, Belmont Village Festival, and Clefs of Moher. Over the years, Tim's dedication to the arts and music scene has built an impressive network of fellow performers, artists, and like-minded individuals. Join Tim every Tuesday as he dives into brief yet engaging conversation and performance with the artistic visionaries and influencers he has had the chance to collaborate with throughout the years. Without further ado, here's Tim Moher.
Hello, welcome to Tuesdays with Tim. Last week was super special. We had such a great group of musicians and background help with the sound and the audio at the museum downtown Kitchener. They were so gracious to let us use that facility, beautiful facility. It's opening soon, and they have a great exhibit coming up, April 9th, I think they're opening again. And shortly after, maybe it's in the fall, I'm not sure. You'll have to check their website. They have the Rolling Stone exhibit that's coming, and that's pretty exciting. But anyway, today's show, I have a special guest, and he is from the Clefs of Moher. And so now I'd like to welcome Rob Gellner, my trumpet player. Hello, Rob.
Hey, how are you?
Doing well, Rob. Thank you for joining Tuesdays with Tim here, and which is what just meant to be a casual conversation. You were asking, what are the pointers that we're going to talk about, and I'm sort of evasive of planning too much into it because it's just nice to have a little bit of spontaneity. And for those that are first time listeners, what we do is chat for about 10 minutes, and then we listen to some music that will go for 5 or 10 minutes, and then that's it. So 7 to 7:15 every Tuesday with Tim. So again, Rob Gellner, you and I met, I think, through the you call it the KW Big Band Theory. Is that correct?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, you're a trumpet player in that. I'm sax player. I moved around. I was alto and second alto, and now I'm first tenor. But once Ken comes back, he'll be back in the first tenor. Gladly, I'll have him take the first tenor, and he'll be back. And then because right now it's sort of a hybrid band, right? We have KW Big Band Theory, which is like an 18-piece band. And then when COVID happened, some people, due to their health and due to family and due to their job, but because of COVID, bottom line, some people had to withdraw. You being one of them,
Yeah.
So that's been rough, not being able to play the trumpet as much.
That's right.
It must have felt nice though last week.
It was heaven. It was really nice to play with real people for a change. So. Yeah,
you and Tony Snyder are the brass section of the Clefs of Moher on French horn, and you're on trumpet or flugelhorn. You play that as well, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, going back to the KW Big Band Theory, you're in that, but presently you're not in it. And then once we get all our vaccinations in order, then you're back in.
Yeah.
So will Ken be and others that weren't able to make it with the, we have, I don't know if you've seen, Rob, but we have all these partitions and everything out at the farm.
Yeah.
So we're completely COVID sort of friendly, but it's a nice, it's been a really good experience doing that and trying to adapt. Like this Tuesday with Tim thing wouldn't happen if it wasn't for COVID. That kind of pushing us ahead in technology. How about you? How are you? Wonderful with technology, or?
I'm all right. I know that you mentioned Big Band Theory is kind of taking a bit of a hiatus, but I'm playing on Sunday nights online through Jamulus with the big band. But it's not really Big Band Theory. It's a bunch of people from all over. So it's just a chance to play, but it is not the same. That's why when you said, can we play live? I said, yes, I want to play live because I miss people. And it was a small group, so you didn't have to worry about issues with COVID bylaws, infractions or whatever. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah.
So you play. What's your background? I don't even know if I know, because you play the trumpet very well, but some people just pick it up and some study somewhere. Did you study?
Well, I started playing when I was 15, and I'm 55. So, and then my musical background, I went to Wilfrid Laurier for music composition. So I have a degree in composition there, and I studied with. I was lucky enough to study with a guy named Jim Howard, who used to teach at Berklee in Boston at one point. So I ended up learning a lot of the Berklee Boston theory and harmony and jazz stuff through Jim Howard, who, if anybody's old enough and played in bands in high school, he was in charge of the Canadian Stage Band Festival. So
you know what? Maybe if you send me a copy of an image of your CD later, I could include it in this video and pop it up on the screen.
Yeah,
so that's the nice thing about pre-recording.
It's right there.
If you want to reach, but it's okay. We'll look at it after. But all original material you wrote.
All original material, yeah.
And you're a composition major. That's why it sounds so sweet. I love your tunes, Rob.
Well, thanks. Yeah. And I would say I love yours as well. That's kind of why I like playing with the Clefs of Moher.
I'll be honest with you. You know what? I love the camaraderie, the colleague that I'm working with, Rick Hutt, and Paul Stouffer as well, with working with compositions, because I get to sort of do what I enjoy, which is creating a melody. And I find that I'm good with melodies, but I'm not like all the heavy lifting of the chordal structure and that. That's something I'm still like to work on, but it's not. Even when I was at university, I shied away from that. I remember having to, present something, and it was just a nightmare for me. I was not looking forward to that. But you've done it, eh? Was it jazz composition that you're doing at university?
Well, I went there for classical, but I always liked jazz stuff, and the jazz harmony to me was more in depth than a lot of classical harmony.
Yeah.
I mean, I can get into theory and say that classical and jazz harmony are the same. It's just they're labeled differently. So
I see.
Yeah.
And then what was I going to say about? I know that you created all the music for your CD, but you also created tunes for KW Big Band Theory.
Yep. Yeah, I did some writing for them, some originals. Yeah.
Yeah. And is your CD on iTunes or not?
I haven't. No, it's not on iTunes.
Okay, that's something.
Yeah, I need to do that, but I'm not technically savvy enough to put it up there. It's on my website.
We all have work to do. That's the thing.
Yes.
And it's on the website. What's your website?
RobGellner.com.
That's an easy one. Robert or Rob Gellner?
Rob
Gellner with 2 L's, N-E-R.
Yes, that's
Rob
right.
Gellner. Awesome. So, Rob, tell me, you play the trumpet, you're a composer, but you, out of the blue, as far as I'm concerned, you picked up a thing called the Chapman stick.
The Chapman stick. So that's what this is. So
why?
This is one of them. As a trumpet player, as a sax player, what would you do if you got old and your teeth fell out of your face?
There you go. I've always wondered.
You can't
know the answer.
So I love playing music, and as a trumpet player, you use your face. As a sax player, you use your face. So if something happens to my teeth, I want to be able to still play something. So I thought, well, I could play piano. So I've got a piano, but that's a lot of work to try to get up to the same caliber as all the other piano players out there. I could play guitar. There's a million guitar players, but with Chapman stick, it's got melody strings on 6 melody strings and then 6 bass strings. So it's a guitar and it's a bass. Oh. And you play it by tapping the frets. So it's like a piano because the hammers are hitting the keys. Yeah. So it's kind of a hybrid instrument, but it has a stereo output, so I can separate the melody side and the bass side and process them separately. And also, as you know, with bands, if you want to hire a band, you'd really like to give your guys a decent amount of money if you can, but the budgets don't always allow for that. If I'm playing a Chapman stick, I can cover the bass roll, the melody roll. I could really go and do a gig by myself, or I could bring you along and we could do a gig together, and we have played together. So we've done duets with Stick and Iwi, and that was fun. So it's just an opportunity to play an instrument that's also a rhythm instrument that is chordal.
Yeah.
As opposed
well, I've heard you over the years progress on the Chapman stick. So what we're about to listen to is really awesome, and I've really heard a lot of progress. So congratulations on this. So why don't we move to it now? It's called "Take Me as I Am," which, by the way, is the name of a song that I created as well. "Take Me as I Am," and Jesse Trenier sang it. And maybe if we have time in this video, if we stretch it out a little bit, I'll add in Jesse's song at the end, either that or Another Week or whatever. But let's go to yours, and then we'll finish here, Rob. It's been great chatting with you.
It's been fun, yes.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't want to forget, though, you and I, under your leadership, are going to be playing at the Jazz Festival in Uptown Waterloo, right?
That's right.
It's tentative, but...
It'll be the Rob Gellner Septet, which will be 7 players. So 4 horns, 3 rhythm sections. So some of the guys I've talked to about it already, and a couple of guys don't know yet. So once I get the official okay from the board of the festival, it should be the Thursday. I think it's the 22nd of July, and I think we're the opening act. But I'm not sure. So just check the schedule, and then you can go from there.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you so much, and here we go with "Take Me As I Am" by Rob Gellner.